Hey! We are live Game Toppers 4.0 on Kickstarter, live question and answer session number 4.
Number 4 already.
Woohoo! I'm super excited. Today we have an awesome guest that I've gotten to know over the last couple months and conversing with our good friend Brian Finn from Geek Knights.
Hey guys, how's it going, man? Thank you so much for having me, Berkey and Josiah. Awesome to see you guys right now. Awesome.
Awesome to see you too. We're going to talk about some of the things that are going on in the campaign. We're going to answer any questions that you might have. And we've got some exciting new news that we're going to talk about with our stretch goals. Okay, we've been thinking long and hard. We've been gathering feedback. How can we get better? What can we do? What do our backers want? All of that kind of thing. And so we've been racking our brains to find out what we can do to energize this campaign, get people to see this, and get everybody's participation. And that's one thing that I just love about Game Topper Nation. I mean, we have some of the best backers ever, and that's not flattery. It's just absolutely the truth. I mean, our backers are in there going, hey, what's your favorite mat? They're asking questions of other people, and if other people have questions, they jump in, and they're so positive and so helpful to show people the awesome fun that Game Toppers are, you know? So that's super exciting. So we're going to go through some of the things that are going on in the campaign. Usually it takes a few minutes for people to join in. We're at 2 o'clock Central Standard Time, which is a little later for us than normal. So we're probably missing some of the noontime rush in the Central Time Zone, but we're closer to the West Coast. And Brian, you're from Mountain Time, I believe, right?
I am Mountain Time. Yeah, Salt Lake City, Utah. That's where I currently reside, although I bounce back and forth between Venice Beach, LA, and back and forth to here. So yeah, definitely West Coast.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about Game Nights and what you have going on and get your feedback. But as people start jumping into the chat, we'll answer some questions and we'll start to go through some of the new things that we're proposing to do on the Kickstarter campaign. And we'll allow you to interject too, what your thoughts might be. For those of you that don't know, Brian Finn is a professional stunt actor, professional stunt coordinator, has done a lot in the film industry for like 35 some years, I believe, right?
Yeah, I hope that's a filter that I don't look over 35, thank goodness. But yeah, I'm a lot older than that.
Yeah. Well, you've got a lot of history. When you go to the geeknights.com website and you go to Geek Knights actually has a Kickstarter running right now. What they're doing is they're bringing live D&D play into a live action fantasy movie format. It's super exciting. When you see their trailer and you see the effort that Brian and his team have put together with makeup, with, you know, I mean, it's professionally done, right?
It is. The cool thing about that whole process is pretty much everybody to a man, maybe one or two out of the whole entire crew, are super talented in their own right as Hollywood's either a camera guy, stunt guy, VFX guy, but are all D&D players. So to bring those two together to really do it justice, it's not film guys trying to show D&D or D&D guys trying to do a film. These are things that just coexist, and we're able to translate this together. And I have a really good VFX team that I've built over the years, also as a stunt guy, because you start limping around at my age. I'm like, dude, let's start figuring out the VFX side of this. And now because of that, this is something that we've dreamt about as D&D players. And if you're a D&D player and you've played and you know those magical moments where you've seen this fight scene or this near death scene or these nat 1s or nat 20s that just bring this magic. And you're like, can you imagine if this was on the big screen? And that's what we're bringing. That's exactly what we're bringing right now, because you're combining technology with a lot of experience, and you're able to bring those two together. So we're able to do something that really couldn't be done, you know, not even that long ago.
Yeah, I'm just super impressed with it. You know, you reached out to me a few months back, and you were looking for a game table, of course. And so we talked for quite a bit, and we made a small consideration to you, but you actually purchased a Game Topper game system because you had heard about what we were doing in the industry and thought that our Mycroft, our big topper, was perfect for your film set because of the amount of people that you had, and you also needed portability for the different shows that you were going to. And tell us a little bit about your thought process of that.
Yeah, so you see tables out there, and you see different things and stuff like that. And this one just seemed to fit really well. And when I reached out to you, your energy and your answer the question so fast, because the look fit instantly. I mean, the size, even the color, the color scheme and the portability, which you explained to me, was even better than I thought. And to be able to do that, it became perfect for a set piece. It's actually going to, in between sets, it's going to live at my house, man, because I love the thing so much. It's beautiful. So I was, even though it wasn't a straight up, straight sponsorship, this was an investment I definitely wanted to make. And from our shooting point of view, and just as a personal gamer, this table has been awesome for both sides of it, for sure.
Well, and you just recently took the topper, and you've got the beautiful walnut topper, and you took it to Fan X, I believe, right?
Oh yeah, so we had it in our booth, which by the way, Fan X, if anyone has been there, is this massive vendor hall at the base, and then it has an actual game playing and mostly D&D playing at the third floor. And our booth won best booth. It was killer, and we had this table set up at our booth, and we had a game with Tracy Hickman. If you're a D&D fan, you know who that guy is. That's the creator of Dragonlance, one of the most amazing authors and just legends in D&D. And he was one of our players. Amy Vorpal, which is just an amazing, she's on a show called Critical Role, and she does some other stuff. And they sat at that table, and the testimonial that they give and the enjoyment that all of us fit there so comfortably, but you didn't feel far apart, that was one of the big aspects of how do you make something big enough to fit those people, but not feel like you're so far away and removed. And it almost came to be that perfect size. It worked perfect for our booth, perfect for filming, and perfect for a group of friends that are playing.
Yeah, and you generally have, what do you have, like 6 players on a typical
6, unless the dice kills somebody or something stupid happens. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
So that I'm having Josiah, actually, we're pulling up your Geek Knights Kickstarter campaign, and you've got 35 days to go on this, but let's take a look at that trailer video real quick.
Oh, that'd be great, man.
We're waiting for a few people to get into the question and answer. I think this is a nice time to preview this at the top of the show.
Yeah.
You'll be able to see exactly what we're talking about with this.
You regain consciousness. You open your eyes to find you are a prisoner in a rolling cart, being pulled through the forest.
I could probably jump in there and potentially save him.
You got this.
He's dead. Dude, he's dead.
Save my life.
Geek Knights. Let the dice decide.
Heck yeah. A lot of
That's
fun.
great.
Heck
Geek
yeah.
Nights. It's just a whole bunch of fun.
It is, man. Getting to do this and kind of calling it a job is pretty amazing. That's for sure, man. It's pretty fun. And to see the campaign, because we actually just played the campaign and started shooting some of the sizzle in this trailer, and to know how this is gonna, because we've played the campaign and actually shot the campaign portion of this, just not the live action, and to know the magic of that's gonna come out once we get some of these goals set, and for people to experience that stuff and to watch it the players' faces, and then to transition to that, seeing what's happening in live action. It's so magical, man.
Well, really what's going on is, Game Toppers, the whole idea behind what we're doing was to upgrade people's gaming experience. And that's all about more fun. That's all about the enjoyment of the hobby. And that's exactly what you're doing. You're bringing these other thematic elements like we do with our thematic game mats and our new designer art rail. These are thematic elements that create an environment. And you're kind of doing that likewise in just a little different way that creates an entertainment value that ties together the joy of gaming and makes it a lot more interesting. How it brings it to life, to me, is very interesting. Where you see that miniature of the the wagon there, and then all of a sudden you're seeing it in live person. It's just great.
Exactly. By the way, I'm gonna have to look and see what was actually posted, because I got a good team, but we're gonna give away that actual wagon in a drawing for anyone that's going. I think it's 20 or more. I hope I'm not quoting myself wrong. Anybody that's doing 20 or more over the next 2 days, they're gonna go into a drawing for that actual wagon, and we're gonna give that thing away. So that's one really cool thing. And this is just the first 2 days. We're gonna give a miniature from the cast as well. As well.
That's cool.
So those are some cool start off little fun things that we put in, and I'm telling you, that wagon is awesome, man. It's really freaking cool. A cool piece of art and collector's edition. And the cast too. There's like 6 cast members that are a part of that as well.
We've got a couple people in the chat here. Jim is here.
Jim says, hardest working guys in the table/topper business.
Thank you.
And says 100% agree with Brian. I think that was when we were talking about the Game Toppers functionality. Aaron says Skyrim intro flashbacks.
Heck yeah. You're absolutely right, man. Especially Skyrim intro with the 3D goggles. If you got the VR goggles, that's even better. Yeah.
That's really cool. Well, I got to tell you, I want to, while we still have people, starting to fill in here, a lot of people will watch this after the fact this evening. We'll be putting a big update, and we'll have this linked in the update. We just had our last show with Sam Healy from the Flip Side of Board Gaming. And I tell you what, we had some amazing questions. We had a lot of people in the chat, and it really gave us a lot of opportunity to answer a lot of questions and some of the most commonly asked questions. So I highly recommend, if you're viewing this, check some of the past episodes. The first episode that just Josiah and I did, we just answered questions nonstop. So a lot of things that you might be wondering about or curious about, they're going to be covered there. For those of you that maybe this is the first time you've joined Game Toppers, there is a potload of stuff on our page. I mean, goodness gracious. We have been in business for almost 7 years, and we've continued to improve, add new cool upgrades, new thematic mats. We had 20 of some of the industry's best mats, 20 of them in 11 different sizes. I mean, you should see our warehouse. The warehouse video is coming, everyone. I know I told everybody I'd be doing that. I will be doing it. But then we decided what's better than 20? 30's better. So let's add 10 more. Let's do more terrain mats for all of the wargaming community and these epic games like Terraforming Mars on our Mars map, and Desert Dunes with Dune Imperium, and the water map, and the Starfield for all these epic space games, and our battleground map for all of these awesome games like Flames of War. We filmed on Josiah's table. Josiah has a Mycroft and had that just set up with gorgeous miniatures you can see on the intro video. But then we did 5 more amazing thematic mats. We did the new Ancient Egypt mat from Jaroslav Radecki. It's gorgeous. I got to tell you, I love that. He's done our Viking and our pirate, and his art style is amazing. Our new horror theme mat, that was our #1 requested mat from our last Kickstarter. People are raving about this. If you go to the comments, a lot of people right now, we had a couple of backers, I think Mark is his name, said, hey, what are your favorite mats? And people are chiming in. We'd love to hear from you. Please do that. Let's find out what are your favorites and any ideas you have for us. We want to participate in that with you. And our mats is one of the big things that we've just continued to get better at. The new nature mat from Amber Scarf. I mean, oh my goodness. It's gorgeous. Games like Cascadia and Creature Comforts and Wingspan, they're just like perfect. We have the new Old West train theme mat. I mean, it's Age of Steam meets Old West, and you're playing, Western Legends and Carson City and these great epic Western games, but then also like Ticket to Ride Legacy and any train theme game. That art from Xavier Gonzalez is remarkable. We're going to talk about our stretch goals, but we're doing some special things about the mats. So stay tuned for some of that. And I feel like I'm missing another one of the new ones. Which one am I missing?
Starfield, water.
The thematic.
Oh,
We got the Old West, the horror,
Egypt.
the Egypt, nature.
And Lost Worlds.
And of course, Vincent Dutray. We all know. I mean, people don't even need to see it. They just want it. Because Vincent Dutray's art style is so fantastic. He did our Lost Worlds jungle mat, perfect for games like Lost Ruins of Arnak. So I'm giving a little recap for those of you that maybe just joined, but we unlocked, not only did we do really good prices if you just want to buy one, some of the lowest prices we've had, we unlocked a double mat bundle where you get 2 mats. You also get 2 of the premium mat storage bags and discounted shipping. And it saves you about $60 in these packages. You're almost getting the second mat included. Really amazing deal. I see we have a couple other people joining in the chat. Jim says he's looking forward to the Mars mat. Nemesis, Lockdown, Terraforming Mars, and the Western mat, Western Legends, Shadows over Brimstone. That's cool.
Tim says, I still find the dungeon mat to be my favorite.
Oh, I love the dungeon mat.
We use that. We use that in our campaign as well, by the way. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It was
Great
awesome.
for D&D. It has 1-inch squares on the mat itself.
Perfect for moving. Yep, it really was. It worked great. In fact, the guy behind me, is in that scene. That's a little spoiler alert. That's pretty cool.
definitely noticed the illithid behind you there.
Yeah, big popular creature right now. I think a lot of bonuses coming out with him. But he's going to be on. There's going to be the mini version of him sitting on your mat, on your dungeon mat. I can tell you that right now. It's pretty cool.
Okay,
Really cool fight scene, man.
Cool.
Awesome. Aaron says adventure's been my default with pirate for something colorful. And then there's a question here for Brian. It says, hey, Brian, with your Geek Knights project, what is the most exciting part of your D&D campaign to bring to life?
Oh, well, I would say, I mean, you actually see a tiny bit of it in that trailer. There was and we're going to post the whole entire unedited tabletop version as well once we're out, which would be really cool for people to watch that. But that was when you're DM and when you GM and you're dungeon mastering, you have this plan of what's going to happen with the adventure, and there's this idea of what's going to happen. But you quickly realize players don't go down the direct path that you plan on them going down. And we're in this group, and we're captured in this cart, and we want to figure out, we managed to get out. And the first thing that's said is, let's get water. And it's like, okay, well, that wasn't really part of the plan, but we find a cliff, and we're going to try to climb down. The first person rolls, it's a dex check. He rolls a 1. So he tumbles into the water. The next person comes up to help him, rolls a 1, goes into the water. This is on
Yeah.
camera without editing. The next person throws a rope and rolls a 1. And in that trailer, you see it's 3 1s in a row. And then that trailer, you see the girl throw the rope. It's a paladin. And the rope disappears because she didn't grab it. So that was
Right.
3 1s in a row. So watching that stuff come to life in live action, because there's the comedy aspect, then there's the emotional aspect of death saves and all this other stuff. So that part of it, the magic of the dice coming to life, is definitely my favorite part about it, for sure. Thanks, Apathy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to go down a little bit, give a little background about Game Toppers also. One of the things that we've done is created a system that converts your home table into a high quality board game table. But also we have now leg kits and dining covers, leaf extensions where you can extend your game topper, and rails where you can convert part of your topper into a small topper. And now we have the Young Sherlock leg kit where you can make a movable coffee table as well as a children's table. These are some of the new innovations, but one of the things that we've always done in our Kickstarter campaigns is done a ton of stretch goals. We haven't even shown you all the things that we're planning. So what we've done already is unlocked about 21 stretch goals. I believe one of the goals now is just unlocked just before the show launch. I haven't changed the graphic for, but let's just go down to the stretch goals real quick, and we'll pick up around the 135,000 mark. The thing that's fun about stretch goals, it gives us all something to push for. But of course, some of the stretch goals, some of the things we are intending to do, and we felt that we picked numbers that we would achieve. So I think people, you can, I don't want to be presumptuous, but I believe that we're going to meet these goals. So feel free to back with confidence. If you're new to Kickstarter, you may think, well, that thing isn't unlocked, and that means I might not be able to get it. More than likely, what we're offering, we feel we're reasonably going to get. We're not going to put stuff that's way out there and unattainable just for clickbait or anything like that. We're not going to do that to you. So just recognize that when we're doing these are just goals for us to achieve. And the more goals that we achieve, the more I will be able to reveal, because our heart and our desire is to really give back to our community. So one of the things that we're doing about these stretch goals, we have a lot of our backers that have come back to see us at Game Toppers. We want to do some customer loyalty stretch goals. These are things that are just specifically miles that our backers are going to benefit from by getting some of our products. So at 135, we're unlocked there, is the rail bundle. Now, what's special about this rail bundle, and it's different than we did on our last campaign, we had that padded storage bag. It's a $50 bag, really nice, deep, very, very premium bag that's padded, double zipper. You can put 2 rails in it, or a rail and a mat. And this bag we offered in our last campaign as a stretch goal. We ended up achieving it, so people did get it. But this campaign, we just included it, and our prices are lower. If you were to buy a rail, buy that bag, buy the small mat and the storage bag for the mat, all of those things would cost you more. And also, all of these products are bundled into one package, so you're not paying multiple shipping on separate packages from other things. So you can take advantage of this rail bundle to convert half of your topper into a mini topper. And then that also makes it Young Sherlock compatible. You can have that awesome movable table. Then we're going to go, I moved this all the way up to $140,000 stretch goal. This is the XL Leaf Bundle. And we have this 140,000 to 145,000. This is all about XL. So I've bundled it all together. I moved a couple things up. Hopefully we can just bust through these stretch goals really quick. If you've been waiting for this, we're really excited about this. But at 140,000, you're going to get that 24-inch leaf for your Watson, your Holmes, or your Mycroft. So now you can have an 84-inch an 8-foot Holmes or an 8-foot Mycroft. You're going to get the storage bag to protect it and make it easy to travel with, plus an XL game mat. These are our most expensive mats. There's nobody in the industry making mats this big. There's none of them printing at this size. You can buy some neoprene in a few places, but you're not going to get a 3mm heavy density double stitched edge net with amazing thematic art. And these mats are expensive mats. We sell these for $149 generally, but we've made some special provisions to make that at a big discount. In addition, and from our last campaign, we've had price increases. Anybody notice that stuff has gone up? Right? We've kept our prices low. So that's very exciting. At 140,000, look at that text. I don't have the graphic done. My daughter Hannah does our graphics, and she's gone at a show with her costume company. But we're doing an early bird special. We're adding something. We believe we can do this from a capacity standpoint. What we're doing is we're going to deliver all of the walnut products, all of the walnut packages in the Scotland Yard, the Baker Street, or the Reichenbach Falls, and any of these leaf bundles or rail bundles that we have all in stock. We're going to deliver that alongside the other 2 early bird packages in January. So you can jump into these limited amount of quantity of walnut toppers, and we'll be able to deliver those in January. And then at 140,000, again, it's all about XL. We are unlocking 3 styles of game mats: the Desert Dunes, the Battleground, and the Mars mat in the Holmes XL, the Watson XL, and the Mycroft XL. Oh yeah, we're still there. Double XL. Everybody said, hey, we want these mats. We need more XL mats. Well, we want to give, they all said, well, why can't I get a double bundle? If you unlock the double, I said, yeah, why can't you? No reason. We've got it all. And I got very aggressive with the pricing of these. Not only did we have our lower stretch goal prices on the XL mats, we also dropped the price when you buy a double mat, where you're saving an additional $50 plus getting 2 of the double mat storage bags, and you're getting a discount on the shipping. So it's a crazy good deal. And we are talking about the possibility of a couple other XL mats. At $150,000, and I'm going to try to wrap up fairly quick with a couple of these things, and we'll cover this in an update. But this is where I want to do milestones. Milestones at 150,000, milestones at 175,000, and milestones at 200,000. And what we're going to do is we're going to unlock a bunch of stuff at those milestones. And I'm going to put in a customer loyalty stretch goal at each one of those milestones. So we have to bump through a few plateaus, and there'll be little stretch goals in the middle. But if we can jump to those milestones and get through these next 3 milestones, I think we have a good chance of this campaign really accelerating and us getting some other things that we can bring to you. So at $150,000, Game Hall bag. We normally have this for $59. You can buy it on our website, but we have it for $39.95 as part of the campaign. But
29, right?
On the add-on, you see it at $39. But this customer loyalty deal is we're dropping the price to $29. And we've got it one right behind you. These bags are awesome. What? Oh, we're not on. Can we switch to show them this? I know we've got Brian sitting there in the green room. Thanks for your patience.
No problem, man. I'm learning how to use the bag. That's awesome. I love it.
Well, and this is a really cool padded bag. Okay, it has a big side zipper pouch that you can put things. It has 2 elastic pouches for water bottles, or you can have smaller footprint games. It's got this really great Velcro flap. If you could help me a little there. This here, your games can lay flat in here. And you can get up to 4 Ticket to Ride size games in here, which is really cool. So it's not like they have to, your board games be sitting upright bookshelf wise. You don't want to carry them around like that. Everything gets all out of the place unless you've got a lot of component holders. Well, this bag also, this is made by Top Shelf Game, who has the Game Hall line. We partnered with them on our last campaign. They make amazing bags. They're just super heavy duty. We love our game tote, don't get me wrong, but this is a real upgraded premium bag. It's worth every nickel of 59 bucks. But we're doing that as the first of the milestone. We got 3 things on this milestone stretch goal. You're going to get that bag for 10 bucks less. Okay. The next thing is our Game Topper Game Tote, which we've talked about on the show quite a bit. This is my favorite bag, actually. I love this. The Game Hall bag's awesome too, but this one's so easy to grab, put my accessories in. These are a $25 bag also, but at $150,000, every package is going to get one of these free. Crazy. Every package. Now, we might even extend that if we hit some goals to include that in if someone just buys an individual topper. We might be able to do some things with that as well. And then this one here is huge. This is just crazy huge. This is the J.J. Burkton mat rack, named after my son, of course. This was our 3.0 campaign when we introduced these mat racks. This mat rack retails for $189. We have it on sale on the Kickstarter for $129. Well, when you do the math on all of these mats, and you'll notice we've also included the 3-foot by 5-foot mat. We had a lot of people ask about that one, if we could have a stretch goal. That wasn't in the package before, or the double mat bundle. Well, we've unlocked that also. When you do the math, we put the a la carte price. If you just bought like the double mat bundle, which is our best deal, right? Not the single price, the double mat bundle. We took that amount and calculated it and put in a sale price here, including the rack, including all the storage bags, including that discounted shipping. And if you do the math, you're going to find that you're almost getting that mat rack free, which is crazy, unheard of. It's the best price we've ever done on this. So if you want 4 new mats, you're going to love this thing. A lot of these here, we should be shipping very soon after our early fulfillment as well. So it's not like you're going to have to wait till next year to get these. You're going to be able to get the mats you love and get them very quickly. This is a huge milestone.
It will be next year, though. Just early next year.
Early next year. Did I say this year? So, yes. Okay. J.J. Burkton mat rack. So cool. At $155, this is a big deal too. This is a very high-end premium padded dining cover bag. This has 5 flaps that are padded in it. It's huge. It's double reinforced, so it can handle the weight. It had to handle 100 pounds. They're very durable. These bags are very premium, very expensive. It's one of the products that not only helps us ship the product safely, it also provides an awesome storage solution for you when you're not using the dining cover to protect it. And it's a $80 bag. Okay. We're including it free with any dining cover. So you look at our dining covers and realize those prices now are at $155. It's going to include that bag. That's a huge value. And then at $160,000, I got crazy. I just went crazy. I figured, we're going to unlock these mats anyway. Why not? Let's just unlock them all at 160 instead of, I was going to space them out a little bit for fun. Moving them all. The water mat at 160,000, the Old West mat at 160,000, and the horror theme mat at 160,000. You're going to see there, we also are going to be offering the new play mats at 20 bucks, we have another stretch goal down the road for the Baker Street Irregulars that we're going to include one of these mats with Baker Street Irregular. We might want to double check here to see if we have some questions real quick, so I don't just keep rambling here. But
Raymond says, hey, we're at 150, 135.
150, that's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, that's great. I got to read. And then Raymond says he can't stay and watch right now, but have a great weekend, guys. Loving the stretch goals.
Thanks, buddy.
And Aaron says, back to Geek Knights for the day one mini. Can't go higher until I see what I'm spending on toppers.
Oh, boy. We're competing.
No.
No, I don't want to do that. Sorry. Yeah, don't do that.
Give him your money. Give him your money.
Yeah. Thanks, Aaron. Thank you so much.
Jim's excited about the double XL mat bundle.
Cool.
And that's about it. Caught up.
All right. Well, let's go back and we'll just go up to that 175. I think at 160, we've got all these mats. At 170, we're doing a 30-inch by 72 crimson red. That's for those small portable tables that people have. So this here is a perfect solution if you just have a folding table and you want a nice mat, or you're going to the game store, or you're going to a convention. These are great to travel with. And we're including the bag with that free at $80, which is really good deal. And this is something I love, guys. This is another milestone, okay? Got 3 things going on, okay? Super excited. This big, chunky Game Toppers medallion. This thing is 3 inches around. It is super heavy. It's beautifully done, and it's made by the company that does Goliath coins. Joe and I met about a year ago at the Gamma Trade Show, talked again at Gen Con, and I said, I want to do something really cool for my backers. Now, he sells his at his shows for $25. He's got amazing stuff over there. There's all kinds of thematic coins. You can check them out. We're selling these for $22.95. So if you just want to buy one, it's great. Perfect first player marker. Great for flipping. It's got a D20 on the back. It's got our cool logo on the front. It's great as a first player marker. You could probably use it as a challenge coin if you wanted. It's a little big to be carrying around in your pocket. But I thought, what could I do that would be cool for my backers? What could I do that if they join this campaign and buy anything, you can buy something for $10, doesn't matter. I'm going to give you, because you're a prior backer, and we will know that based on the email from backer kits in the past and our Shopify store. We'll be able to verify that so that you'll automatically get this when you've backed our campaign. So we just want to let you know this is something we wanted to give back to our faithful backers. We're so grateful for all of you. And also, we're going to unlock a stretch goal where you're going to get this coin with any, if you're a new backer, with any package. So it adds another big chunk onto already a lot of stuff we're offering with those packages. Those packages are amazing deals. Then we've been talking a lot with everybody about the white terrain mat. We're going to have some artwork up for you. We've been working with our graphic artists to take the initial war terrain white mat that we had that had a little bit more of a grayish tone and white versus anything that had a little bit of a bluish snow tone. Because there's so many games now with that theme, like End of Winter and Frostgrave and Frosthaven and such, we're working on a little edit to it to just embellish it a little bit. And we're hearing a lot of really good feedback about this. So we're going to offer that in 3 sizes: the Watson, the Holmes, and the Mycroft at $175,000. If we get enough feedback, we can consider doing it in other sizes. But right now, we're probably going to have to be careful with that one in what we can offer it. And then as another milestone at 175, this awesome Game Topper game accessory bank. Okay, this here holds all your cool bits, but we improved it. A lot of you from our last campaign own this, but we bought this really high quality ball bearing turntable that actually makes it to be a spinner. It's awesome. It sits neatly on the corner of the game topper so that you can actually have it there as your main bank with all your cards and accessories, but then you can also pass it around. It can spin in the center of the table, all kinds of things. We're going to include that thing. That's a $39 value with every package. So again, these packages, when you buy them, we've already unlocked the one big accessory bundle. We unlocked that extra mat you get for $50. Now you're going to get all this other stuff. So crazy good deal. And then there's some other stretch goals. We're not going to take the time to go through those right now. But super excited about these customer loyalty. Let's unlock them so I can give these things to you. And then let's hit these milestones where a bunch of stuff is going to burst and all of a sudden they're made available.
So we've got a question from David here. Just back the early bird Scotland Yard, but showing up as a standard pledge, not early bird. Is the early bird count on the campaign page current? Well, I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to. We have two separate pledges for the Scotland Yard. There's the early bird pledge, which has the early shipping, and then there's also the Watson Scotland Yard standard pledge. So you just want to make sure that you're in that early bird one. There should still be ones available.
Yeah, I think there's still a few available in the Scotland Yard. The Baker Street is almost sold out, but they're $1 less than the other pledge. So it's at $11.98 in the campaign. So you'll see that pledge there. That will get you in the early bird, but it also lets you add on a bunch of stuff in the pledge manager after the fact if you like. So that's still available. Yes, no problem.
It says also +1 for the snowfield mat.
Okay, cool. Thanks for the feedback.
Jim says, thank you for the free coin. I would like to see some more detail on the snow mat, but would love one.
Okay, cool.
We'll have those images up soon. And then David says, K2 and Last Aurora seem like good candidates for the snowfield mat.
Yep, true that.
And then David, I see. So David says, I backed the early bird, but it shows up as standard. I don't see a way to change it. So the early bird is for the standard Watson topper. So by standard, we mean the fully aluminum black powder coated rail. You don't have the option with the early bird in that pledge level to go with the oak or the walnut.
Correct.
However, if you want, as part of the stretch goals we were just going through, we will be actually doing early bird fulfillment for the walnut Watson Scotland Yard packages. So if you were to back the separate pledge level, that is the walnut Scotland Yard, you will be able to get that in that early bird fulfillment.
And we've been letting people know, too, a lot of these goals we're talking about being in April, but a lot of this, after we get done with that first wave of fulfillment in January, we can pack about 15 units a day. So we can move quite a bit of material in 1 week. In 2 weeks period of time, we can move quite a bit. So the other products that are actually in stock, and as long as we haven't sold out of something like a particular mat or something like that, we're going to be able to follow that up quicker than we've actually are telling people. I'm not promising that, but I am giving you some information. So I wouldn't worry too much about, backing the oak Scotland Yard package, for instance. Those things will come very close, and we're very good at communicating with you all of those timelines. So thank you so much for that feedback, and thanks and welcome to Game Topper Nation. That's awesome.
Aaron says, also interested in the images of the snowfield. Also, is there any HD video of the walnut with different mats? I'm seriously tempted to upgrade my Mycroft package, but need to be darn sure about the look.
Oh, absolutely. One of the things that would be a good resource for you, if you actually go to GameToppersLLC.com, you're going to see the walnut. If you go to the Mycroft page, you're going to click on images. I think there's walnut there. I should double check that before I say that, but you can click on the banner and there's all kinds of games set up on it. On our last 2 campaigns, we've focused a lot on that walnut. So Game Toppers 3.0 and Game Toppers 3.5 5, and you'll see all kinds of pictures with the Game Toppers set up with the walnut. It's fabulous. It's gorgeous. Brian, you have the walnut.
I do. It is the darker color, the darker color wood, especially. I love it with the green forest map, which a lot of our campaign took place on. So those two were just aesthetically so perfect from a filming and just how it's set up. It looks so good together. Love the walnut, actually. Specifically pushed you a little bit to send me that one. I think you were low on stock, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we are.
I think you were trying to steer me away from my vision, but I would not let go. Yeah.
Well, and the adventure mat looks really gorgeous with it. The wood grain actually looks spectacular with it. And several of the other mats. In fact, there's the Viking mat and the pirate mat. There isn't really anything that clashes too much with it as far as the mats that we do offer. So there's a lot of choice there.
Tim says, I also love the feel of the wood as well. Very true. I'm personally, once we came out with the walnut, I was like, that's what I want. So my Minecraft that I have at home is a walnut as well. So
yeah, that's pretty cool. They're beautiful. Walnut prices have gone through the roof, but it's heirloom. And we have a 3-part catalytic finish, which creates a very hard finish on there. So it's very durable.
Aaron says, great team sales tactic. Okay, you got me.
Well, we've been talking a lot about our stretch goals. That's part of the purpose of this show. This isn't like a full podcast, but I also want to spend some time talking with Brian Finn, our special guest. If you just joined, he's with Geek Knights. And Geek Knights has a crowdfunding campaign going right now where they're bringing D&D play to live action stunts, live action special effects. It's amazing production value. And Brian has been in the stunt and film industry for 35 some years. He has a studio in Los Angeles and in Utah. And he's just at heart a gamer. He loves D&D. And has been in this film industry, and he just wants to bring this to life. So we want to talk a little bit more with Brian about some of the things. Feel free to keep asking questions. We'll answer your questions and interrupt, but want to give Brian a little time here to talk a little bit more. What was I know you have some connections with some people in the D&D community, and just recently, weren't you at Gamehole Con?
I was, yeah. So Gamehole Con, from I don't know if you want to call it a strict D&D point of view, is one of the bigger, if not the biggest, straight up D&D. It was, I don't know, well over 10,000 and pretty much all D&D players. And I got to sit down with somebody that is a childhood legend. And in my opinion, I don't even think it's really an argument, but he's kind of the Michael Jordan of Dungeons & Dragons, the big living legend. His name is Ed Greenwood. He created the Forgotten Realms and Elminster, one of the most famous wizards. And this guy, he sat down and I said, hey, do you want to see this? He was signing autographs and people are just mobbing him. And can you take 1 minute and 56 seconds to look at this thing with me? And he goes, oh, sure, I'll do that. And he sat down and he literally said, how can I be involved? And where has this been? And he sits down. It's on our YouTube channel. It's like the whole thing is like a 45-minute interview, but we break it up into sections. And I'm talking all things D&D with Ed Greenwood. And he takes what we're doing with Geek Knights, and he said this is magical for us as D&D players to be able to see this actually come to life. And he breaks down the reasons why. And honestly, so I got to spend basically 2 short little days with it. He was the most genuine human, and it's I can't even stress enough how just straightforward and heartfelt and honest he was, and just so supportive. He wasn't anything like no signed paperwork, no what's in it for me. He's like, this is magical. Let me help you get to this to the community. And having literally the legend like that promoting it was so massively huge. And at the Geek Knights Studios YouTube channel, you can go see that interview. He also talks about something that is so magical. He basically said, oh, it's because this is one of the cool things. If any of your Game Topper people are D&D players, the coolest thing that I think is every season there's 8 episodes, but one episode is fan submission. So we take the top 10 fan submissions and they submit what their one-shot campaign, one-shot adventure is. And that becomes a live action, one of our episodes, which is so cool. You think about that when you've played, even if you were back at 12, 15 last week, you could submit that and we put it before the crowd and we vote that could be turned into a live action. And he talked about it. I said, what about you? Do you have one? And he broke down, and Ed literally teared up talking about this girl that had come to play at one of the early Gen Cons. And here she is. He said she was 17 or 18. She's playing with a group of older guys in their 30s and 40s. And he's playing, and she was a paladin. And he tells a story of, she's like, yeah, my character would stand guard even though the orcs are coming at us. So you got to hear him tell this. The short version of, she tears up playing her role. And he said, imagine that coming to an episode and seeing that come to life. And it was just magical hearing him talk about that. I highly suggest, even if you're not a D&D player, you'll relate to what he's talking about with this scene. And that's what Geek Knights is about. That I want to do it justice. I want to bring this thing to really true how cool D&D is. I was a high school all-state football, baseball. Every Friday night when I was in high school, they would all go to keggers. I would go straight in my stinky uniform and play D&D with my friends till 6 a.m, man. Straight on Friday night. That's what I would do. And that's where this has all come around as a stunt guy and now as a D&D player. And I just want to share that magic and bring it to the screen, because there are millions and millions of us players, but there are millions that don't understand the game. And you can bring those two together. The people that don't know and the people that know will love what we're doing.
Well, that's part of, when I heard what you were doing, I right away was really intrigued by it. But then when I saw the quality and the effort and the experience that you have, it's not like you don't have the experience to do this. You do have the ability to do it. Now it's mostly the getting the community to see what you can do and know about it. I hadn't heard about you prior to that. And so you're relatively new as far as being in the audience, so to speak, even though you've been a fan for all your years. So it's that place of letting everybody know what this is. And right away, I was like, I want to tell people about this. I think this is really cool. This could be the next tabletop, that was on Geek and Sundry. This could be, who knows, but again, it's just a matter of everybody getting the word out. So I'm sure you would appreciate it if people would share your information.
Oh yeah, that's exactly how this gets out. We have this magical product, and I can tell you, whoever has sat down and watched the trailer or taken a minute to watch has fallen in love with it, and they get it instantly. But I mean, we were barely a company 5 months ago, as far as where this was going. I wrote the idea 15 years ago, but there's no way I could have done this to this level 15 years ago. And everything came together with, whether it's the team and started gathering other people. So I from the movie World of Worlds, I worked on that as one of Tom Cruise's stunt doubles in that thing. And I wear a crew shirt for that. Okay. This will tell you where the world is. I wear a crew shirt for that. Stunt guy, that's cool. I get way more praise and love for my D20 shirt, my dice with my D20 shirt than I do for anything else I've done, because people come out of the woodwork that they're D&D players and game, just overall gamers in general. And there's all this camaraderie, and to bring those two together, when I can bring with the action and the VFX part of it with those gamers, that's just magic. And us getting the word out is people like you, Berkey. I appreciate you guys so much. That's how it does. All the people I've talked to, everybody's fired up about it, and they'll share it to one or two, but everybody's sharing it. We will get the word out. This thing will be massive, but it's a community. It's all of our projects together. That's where it's going to work. And I just appreciate it so much.
Oh, thank you. I feel that, when we are generally out to try to help one another, that's when good things will happen too, and we have a lot of media sponsors that we help out, and a lot of them help us out, and many of them without any compensation. Even it's just because it's like our backers. Just the other day, this guy emails me, and I'm down. And honestly, the other night I was just so exhausted, so tired, and this running a campaign is an emotional roller coaster, guys. If you ever do this, I don't ever recommend doing it, but if you do it, it's awesome. But I was having one of those nights where I was just like so wore out, and I get this email, And John is his name. He makes a video about his game topper that he bought in 3.5. Then he makes another video analyzing the two campaigns and how the metrics are the same. And he went in and did the math and actually showed how the things were cheaper now. And he goes, how does anybody get cheaper over the pandemic? He couldn't believe it. And he just went on and on about it. I didn't even know he was doing it. I didn't pay him to do it, but this was our community that's just passionate about playing games, passionate about upgrading our gaming experiences. Here Brian Finn comes along with this cool movie idea, it's just like, it's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's getting the collaboration between you and Ed and other D&D people, and also just the community. Your guy that got signed up for a mini today, he's going to end up being one of our original people backing this whole project of Geek Knights and getting to grow with us and getting to see these magical campaigns. The other aspect is when you're looking at the creativity, think of the creativity when you have a whole world of D&D players all submitting ideas and talking about and just collaborating and talking about ideas, and the invention that will come out of that, and the new things you've never heard of or seen before coming out of that, because every campaign is just magical. And then that goes back to your table surface. When you have the start at home, when you have this great surface to start with, and that builds up the imagination and the whole process of that, it's just so thankful and just awesome to have that ability in today's day and age. I mean, we were coffee table on some magazines, and now look at where we are. It's just magical.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I think that's really cool. I think we have another question here from David.
Yeah, he says, any plans for clear overlays with 1-inch square grids or hexes?
Yeah, that's a great question. We've actually looked into this and we have some ideas. We weren't able to bring it to fruition on this campaign, but we're planning additional campaigns in the future. So stay tuned. We got all kinds of cool accessories. We're always trying to make things that are upgrading our own stuff, not only just gaming in general. So we do have that. That's definitely one of the ideas. So stay tuned on that one. What are some of the rewards, Brian, that if people go to Geek Knights Kickstarter, they can find you at geekknights.com also. But what kind of rewards and things are you giving to the people that are helping you bring this idea to fruition?
Yeah. So first and the coolest, which was mentioned early on, is that right now the early is you're going to get a mini collector's edition, from a very limited collector's edition from these first couple of days of the campaign. I think that's the $20 or the $10 range. I'm so sorry I should have that right in front of me. And then you're also going to there's an amazing cart in that sizzle in the trailer that you'll see. You're going to get into a drawing for that. And then as a overall campaign, we have the 50 where you get basically the campaign, the digital campaign version. You can actually go in and play and see, because there's a lot of stuff that didn't get played and didn't get done. And you can actually take that and play that campaign as a player. There's a whole entire app that comes with the 100. You get the app for a year, which that's like a $200 value. That app will come out and you can stream straight to your TV. There's also it's an app that lets you create your character. Imagine Berkey the Barbarian, and you have this whole other picture of him, and he's 6'7", and he has a strength of 18, and he had, all these stats. It's actually like, it almost looks like if you imagine a dating app, but it's a character app, and you create this whole profile for him, and then you put out, I need a healer. I want to meet a healer. I want to meet a magic user. And this app will hook you up. This is kind of new information that if you go to our website, you can see that, but it's kind of new information. It's literally like a gamer's app to hook people up with other gamers to play, but in a way that you're submitting yourself as a character to hook up with other characters in games. So it's really cool. So the $100 comes with that. The $200 comes with 3 years of that, plus all the lower collectibles. The really cool one, if if you're and this is going to be I don't know if it's self-promotion, but it's absolutely true. If you are an actor and want to be part of this, you can buy a cameo, and if you have good acting ability, we will give you lines, we will give you a role. If you can't act to save your life and you just want to be on that thing, we'll give you an excellent death scene, which is actually a really cool thing to get a death scene in a series. And those are the 15 and the 2,500. We will also do a when you get in that big range, which would be awesome, we're going to do a live action game for the 1,500 where you'll be invited to play D&D with our cast. And we have some big names, which I can't say, but that will be included in that later on to be part of these D&D legends that are all going to be part of this. So those are some great goals that we have part of, to be part of this original Kickstarter.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really glad that I got the chance to get to meet you, Brian, and we've had several talks before our campaign launched, and getting stuff to you, and then just hearing about your vision, hearing your enthusiasm. It's obviously you care deeply about this project.
Absolutely. I do.
You've invested your heart and a lot of your resources to make this come to life.
Absolutely. And we are in this early stage, but I know just with your help and these people's help and getting this word out, we are going to continue to grow and continue to grow. And I know you're one of my first, like, just true friends, and just see the vision and actually help me get the word out. And I am so loyal and so appreciative of that for the rest of my life. I really appreciate you guys.
So I'll put you on just solo on the screen for a second, because it expands the view there a bit, because you got some other stuff in the background that we haven't really seen before so far.
Yeah,
what can you tell us about those guys behind you?
So I took off his armor and stuff. He was kind of unhappy about that. So that's Crocs. His name is Crocs. He's actually a spokesperson. He's just kind of frozen right now because there's not anything inside of him. But he's one of the spokesperson for the app and the character app. He also plays a role. And then the Mind Flayer Drizak, he's actually hasn't been seen, and you'll get to find out about him in the pilot episode once it's all the way done. Those are some kind of little spoilers, but the cool thing that I don't know if it was just synergy or that's what's been happening with the magic and the people that I've met is the Illithids and Mind Flayers, or Mind Slayers if you're in other worlds, are kind of just the craze between Baldur's Gate, Dungeons & Dragons Online, and Dungeons & Dragons in general. It's a big push for these guys. And I happen to put this guy, and he was written so long ago. And here we have this big bad Mind Flayer, and he plays a pretty cool villain. And if you go to my social media page, you'll see some miniature stuff, because there's a kid Mind Flayer that does some really awful things too, man. And these are some cool things that are going to come to life in this series for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah,
it's we wish you just all the best, Brian. We do everything we can to try to help get people to get a look at this and see if it's something they're interested in supporting or not. And I would encourage anybody to just at least go look at it and see what Brian's offering, because I think once you see it, you'll go, this is pretty cool. And then when you get to know the people behind the scenes, that makes it all that much more special.
Yeah, no, the overall, just not to quote the actual breakdowns, but the overall is, you're going to get some campaign gear, you're going to get some miniatures, you're going to get some, some swag, of course, as well. And then just to be part of if you want to submit your character's backstory, you want to submit and to have him part of the episode, that's only a $10, and you get to submit that, and we will break those down and get some people in that way. Just to submit, it's only $10, and we will go through that and absolutely use you and give you credit and you could, even if you're not there, your character could be in the episode and his backstory could be part of that. And then the 20, you can actually submit your one shot to be one of our episodes as well. Those are all part of the magic and the cool synergy of Geek Knights to get the community involved.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
That's awesome. Well, do you have any other questions or anything you want to share?
I don't think so.
I think we're doing everything on our part. I'm working so many hours, guys, and I care deeply about Game Toppers. I care deeply about our backers. I care deeply about offering the coolest stuff at the most accessible prices that I can offer. And I've really pulled out a lot of stops on this campaign, actually, to provide some amazing pricing. And now by restructuring a couple of these stretch goals so that we have these customer loyalty milestones at 150 and 175 and at 200. And we would love to see this campaign blow up to 500,000. That'd be awesome. So there's a lot of things that we can do to get there, but we're doing everything in our power right now to share this I've been on a bunch of different podcasts, been working very hard. But really what helps us is our backers getting out and sharing their own testimonies of how Game Toppers has improved their gaming and letting people know, hey, there's some great deals here. If you're looking for some of the best mats out there, I know that's a subjective term, but I honestly feel like our mats are some of the best that are out there. I own a ton of mats, and these premium mats I don't skimp on any of the quality. And I know that as backers, you know that. So if you share that story with others and why, and also experiences that you've had with us regarding our service, regarding our delivery, we work so hard to do what we say. And that's just a commitment we have to you all. And we just want to thank you all so very, very much for backing us, for supporting us. And if you can help us share the word, help us get that momentum to break through all of these customer loyalty goals and these special milestones, it'll be super excited to get this baby rolling.
Okay, we got a question here for Brian. Will the submitted characters be background only or potentially one of the main cast?
Oh, absolutely. One of the main cast, that's so I got off track a little bit, which I often do. So as an actor or as a player and that sort of thing, you can spend money on acting school. You can spend money studying, which is great. But if you're confident in yourself and you can get a chance to get right to the front of that line, I highly recommend that. As self promotion as that seems, it's a really good way to get right to the front of that line. And if your ability speaks for itself, you will absolutely have that chance to be part of that. It is potentially be one of the main cast. And if you have a character that you've created that's just unbelievably cool, I mean, we plan on doing this for a while. And also you have the same thing every season, an episode that's its own fan creation. And then every campaign has little side stories and backstories and different things going on. So yes, the answer is potentially one of the main cast. And if not, then you'll be part of the background. So we will find use, and it's kind of up to your skill level. Now we have such amazing costume people and some of the direction and the stuff like that. If you get a great death scene, be honored with that. If you get some lines, be honored with that. We will work through that for sure. And being on set. Now also the 2,500, you get that IMDb executive credit. So you're in IMDb, which is kind of the actors and the crew members. It's like your resume. That's what you go to is IMDb if you're trying to do film or TV. And you get credit for that, which is in itself powerful. And then being on set, in a director's chair, sitting next to the crew and being part of that magic is a pretty cool experience that people do pay a lot just to be a tourist, but to actually be part of the creative process of it is a pretty good opportunity. And I think the people that are doing this are going to be both actors and D&D players. And to get that creativity will be valuable to both of us. And I look forward to that.
I just want to be a red shirt.
Heck yeah, man. That'd be awesome, man. We got some stuff for you guys. I know you've dabbled in a little, and I think Josiah's kind of got some pretty good history with D&D, man. I'd love to hear some of the stories. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, a little theme crossover there, right? All right, we got another comment there too.
David says, thanks for the Q&A.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to covering my existing table. Wish my game room was larger.
Woohoo!
Don't we all?
Yeah.
And then Ooze Bull says, loving my topper here in Norway. Got it delivered on a friggin' pallet to my apartment building. Had to break up that bad boy in the lobby to get things in the elevator. They are large packages, that's for sure. Especially if you're over in Europe, there and things can be a little smaller.
Thank you so much for backing us too. That's such a blessing. We appreciate it. Well, I think we're going to close this show down. And Brian, where can they reach you?
Okay, so it's Geek Knights geeknights.com. And then I think do you have the link? I hope you have that link with you. I'm trying for directly to our Kickstarter, or you go to Kickstarter and search Geek Knights. And it's obviously Knights like the knight in shining armor. And we're right there. We're super active. You ask a question, I will answer that pretty much directly. I have it like a bat phone. Even if it's 2 a.m., I wake up instantly and answer that. No matter what time it is. That was on recommendations of Burke. He says, man, take care of your backers. Take care of your backers. Sleep with that little jingle on there. So I'll try to answer it directly as fast as I possibly can. Even if I'm on a shoot or getting shot out of a cannon or something like that, we'll try to figure it out. But yeah, that's the place, geeknights.com is a good place, or the best place right now, obviously Kickstarter, and search Geek Knights if you don't have the link, and go straight that way.
That's awesome. Well, I highly recommend Geek Knights. Go check them out. And again, thank you all for helping us with our Game Toppers 4.0. And we're going to be back next week with 2 question and answers. We've got 2 special guests, BJ from Board Game Gumbo in Lafayette, Louisiana, who manages the Southern Board Game Fest. And we also have Grant Lyon, the comedian, and he has board game skits that he's actually doing across the country, as well as his national, he was just on the Dry Bar Humor circuit. And so he's been doing comedy for many years, lives in Los Angeles, but he has a YouTube channel called Grant's Gamers Rec. And those videos, he's talking all about board game centric things. So he's really gotten into board games. Love Grant. He owns one of our Adler toppers and loves our product. And so we've had a really great relationship with him too. So next week, 2 more question and answers. We're going to be live all weekend. I'm going to be putting an update out today on everything we've been talking about. And so let's get some momentum and let's blow this thing to the moon.
Sounds good, man. Thank you so much, Burke. Appreciate you. And Josiah, thank you so much, guys. Such a pleasure, man. Any questions, let me know, or anything I can do to help out, man. I'm here.
Awesome. Thanks again.
We will see you all next time.
Take care.